What up? You see what it is?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, just of all ages, I bring to you the soon be platinum winner of the world. Your boys think we're cool. Now, can you dig that sucker? If you smell what the stingray is cooking. Yes, we're talking about the late, great Heavy D. After this intro, we will talk about the legend for show. First, read Matthew chapter 7, Mark chapter 9, and Luke chapter 10. In Luke chapter 15 and Luke chapter 1 and Luke chapter 11. Hey, cool gamer. Glad you're here. Loving it. Shout out to everyone on Twitch. Shout out to everyone on Facebook. And shout out to everyone on YouTube. Now that we found love, what are we gonna do? Man, I miss the late great Heavy D. He passed on in 2011. Man, I'll explain that. We're gonna read his bio first, then I'm gonna put my viewpoints on the late great Heavy D for y'all. Dwight Ayrton Maya, born May 24th, 1967, on and passed on November 8th, 2011, known professionally as Heavy D, was a Jamaican-born American rapper, record producer, and actor. Mayers was the leader of Heavy D and the Boys, the group that included dancers Hype Man, G Wiz, Glenn Paris, and Trouble T, Roy Troy Dixon, as well as DJ and producer Eddie F. and Edward Farrell. The group maintained a sizable audience in the United States through most of the 1990s. The 5 albums the group released, including production mainly by Teddy Riley, shout out to Teddy Riley, Marlon Marr, shout out to Marlon Marr, DJ Premier, shout out to DJ Premier, and Maya's cousin Pete Rock, shout out to Pete Rock, one of the best ever doing it, and in-house beat maker Eddie F, shout out to Eddie F. Myers also released 4 solo albums and discovered Soul for Real, A Little Soul for Real, Can Can You Be My Candy Rain, and Monifa. Trying to think who that is. Let me see. Oh yes, Steve Solana, Moose Moon film for films like Sprung, Future Touch It at Home, Selena Johnson, Faith Evans, Kiki Wyatt, Latosha Scott, Angie Stone, and Nikki Gilbert. I didn't know he found Monifa. I didn't even know he found. I know he was on So For Real, uh, Candy Rain remix, but I didn't know he found him. Early life, Dwight Ayrton Myers was born on May 24th, 1967, in Mandeville, Manchester, Jamaica, the son of nurse Elohi Lee and machine technician Clifford Vincent Mayers in the early 1970s. His family moved to Mount Vernon, New York in the house. New York, run the house. Where he was raised in an interview, his mother stated that he spent most of his childhood hanging out with brother Floyd and his friend Mo. Career. Heavy D and the Boys were the first group signed to Uptown Records, with Heavy D as the frontman, and the only rapper Eddie F was his business partner in the group, DJ, and one of the producers. The other 2 members, T Roy and G Wiz, were the dancers. Their debut, Living Large, was released in 1987. The album was a commercial success. Big Time was a breakthrough that included 4 hits. Trouble T. Roy died at 22 in the fall on July 15th, 1990, in Indianapolis. Dixon's death led to the tribute to the follow-up platinum album, Peaceful Journey. Pete Rock and CL Smooth created a tribute to Trouble T. Roy called The Reminisce Over You, Troy. Oh, I didn't know that was. I didn't realize that was a tribute, but I love that song. I reminisce over you, Troy. No T period R period O period Y. That's how it's pronounced. So if you ever want to check out the song, man, that song was deep. Now since I know the deep meaning of it, I didn't know. I thought it was just a song. No offense, but then I realized it's based off of Troy, which is regarded as a hip hop classic. In 1989, Heavy D performed guest rap on Janet Jackson's hit single "Alright," an early example of rap music of a rap appearances on pop songs. It was also the highest speaking song which he had performed on in the Billboard Hot 100. In 1992, he appeared on Michael Jackson's single "Jam." Love that song. That whole CD was fire, and also gained a higher profile by singing the theme song for the Taylor Swift program "Living Color." Yep, and also Mad TV. I ain't know he sung for Mad TV. I know he sung for Living Color, cause no, rest in peace to Left Eye, but no TLC sung the theme song "All That." We are all that, all that. It's a person in your friend that shows all that you be all the time. And if he did Living Color thing, and also Mad TV, you're gonna find out. I'm trying to think, it was another rapper that sung the thing. Oh yeah, and Coolio, God rest his soul. He did. Ah, here we go. Dun, dun, dun. Now you doing with Keenan and Kel. Coolio song the theme from Keenan and Kel. That was pretty cool. Dropped a little hip hop history on ya. And Heavy D then began focusing on his acting, appearing in various television shows before returning to the music charts with Nothing But Love. After appearing on the in the off Broadway play Riff Raff as Circle Repertory Company, Heavy D returned to recording with the hit Waterbed Heave. In 1997, Heavy D collaborated with B.B. King, rest in peace, the B.B. King and Heavy D, on his debut on Duet's album Deuces Wild. Rapping the song Keep It Coming, Heavy D was referred to as the song Juicy by the Notorious B.I.D. B.I.G. I meant to say, appeared in the music video for One More Chance. Rest in peace, Biggie, rest in peace, Easy E, rest in peace, Tupac. While still an artist, Uptown Records Mayor was instrumental in convincing Andre Harrell to originally hire Sean P. Diddy Combs, shout out to Puff Daddy, for his first music business gig as an intern. He became the president of Uptown Records. During this time, Mayers also developed the boy band Soul for Real. Soul for Real. Candy coated raindrops. You can be my candy rain. And was the executive producer and principal writer of several songs on the group's breakout album Candy Rain. He later became senior vice president at the Universal Music. As an actor, Heavy D is perhaps best known for his role in the 1999 drama film The Cider House Rules, where he plays a migrant worker. He fathered a daughter in 2000 with the chef Antonina Las Faso, a contestant on the fourth season of a contestant, I meant to say, on the Top Chef. Death. All right, here we go. Heavy D final live performance was with Eddie F at the 2011 BET Hip Hop Awards on October 11th, 2011. Their first live televised performance together in 15 years. Myers died on November 8th, 2011 in Los Angeles, California at the age of 44. He collapsed outside his home in Beverly Hills, California, and was taken to Cedars Sinai Medical Center. His death was initially thought to be connected to pneumonia. An autopsy report released on December 27, 2011 stated that the cause of death was a pulmonary embolism, PE. Exclamation mark, PE. Exclamation mark, PE. All right, caused by a blood clot in the leg. He had also suffered from heart disease. Craig Harvey, chief of the Los Angeles County Department of Corona, said that the blood clot that resulted in the PE was most likely formed during an extended airplane ride. AVD had recently returned to a trip to Cardiff, Wales, United Kingdom, where he performed at a Michael Jackson tribute concert. Shortly after his death, MC Hammer and others paid tribute to Heavy D on Twitter. Hammer tweeted that we had a lot of great times touring together. He had a heart of gold. He was a part of what's good about the world. His funeral was held at Grace Baptist Church in his hometown of Mount Vernon, New York. He was buried in Hartsdale, New York. Discography with Heavy D and the Boys. Living Large, 1987. Big Time, 1989. Peaceful Journey, 1991. Blue Funk, 1993. Nothing But Love, 1994. Solo albums. Waterbed Heath, 1997. Heavy, 1999. Vibes, 2008. Love Opus, 2011. Filmography. We're going by years. Title, Role, and Notes. 1993, Who's the Man? Himself. 1995, New Jersey Drive, Bokane. 1997, Baps Himself. Also in 1997, The Daily, Bo. 1999, Life, Jake. 1999, also in 1999, Cider House Rules, Peaches. 2000, Next Afternoon, Short. 2002, Big Trouble, FBI Agent Pat Greer. 2003, Blacklisted, Frankie, Video. Also in 2003, Dallas 362, Bear. 2004, Literacy, Charles. 2006, Step Up, Omar. 2011, Tower Heights, Courthouse Guard. 2012, H4, Archbishop's Group. And television, also gone by years, title, roles, and notes. 1989, A Different World, Himself, episode Delusions of Daddyhood. 1990, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Himself, episode Somebody. Someday Your Prince Will Be in Effect, Part 2. 1992, Booker, Fats Turner, episode Mobile Home. Also in 1992, Not Tales from the Crypt. Versace, episode On the Dead Man's Chest. 1993, Rock, Calvin Hendricks, recurring cast, season 2 to 3. 1994 to 1996, Living Single, Durrell, recurring cast, season 2, guest season 4. 1996, Wayne Head, himself, voice episode Boskonki, Aki, and the Hydrant of Doom. Wayne Head was my cartoon. Basically, it was based on Damon Wayne's life because Damon Wayne just have a club foot and he had to wear that doggone big shoe with the ankle brace. That's a classic cartoon. Yeah, you gotta watch Wayne Head. Came out in 1996. 1996. Year of Wayne Head. In 1997, Happily Ever After, Fairy Tales from Every Child, Drexel voice episode The Golden Goose. 1999, Martial Law, Gordon Gonza episode The Shogun for Hire. 2000, For Your Love, Dexter episode The Accidental Doctor. 2002 2003, Boston Public, Bob Big Boy Lick, recurring cast season 1 to 2. 2003 to 2004, The Tracy Morgan Show, Bernard main cast, good show, I like that one. 2005, Yes Dear, Charlie, episode Barbecue. Also in 2005, Bones, Sid Shapiro, recurring cast season 1. 2011, Are We There Yet? Greg, episode Mr. Almost episode, and also in 2011, Law and Order Special Victims Unit, Supreme episode The Personal Files. Sampling. We got our own thing. James Brown, Funky President, James Brown, My Thing, CJ and Co. We got our own thing. You Ain't Heard Nothing Yet. James Brown, It's a Man's World. Lynn Collins, Thank Grover Washington Jr., Mr. Magic. More Bounce, Parliament. Tear the Roof Off the Sucker. We Want the Funk. Zap, More Bounce to the Ounce. Here we go again, y'all. JB's Past the Peas. A Better Land, main ingredient. Everybody plays food. Thank God he got a short Wikipedia because that worked very well. So it could be fresh on my mind. Now, since we said that, let me go back. My bad if I didn't see your comments. I had to go read this Wikipedia. What up, man? Yeah, man. Boy, I about cried a little bit, boy. I forgot about Boston Public. That was the show back in the day. They don't make shows like they used to, man. I ain't gonna lie. Forgive me, the younger people. I'm young, but the younger ones. But y'all missed it. I wish I could go back to the 90s because this before political correctness came in. And speaking of that, I am a full-blooded 90s baby, and we don't give a dang about political correctness over here. We don't do that. I carry that essence of Dennis Miller, Chris Rock, Def Comedy Jam, Def Poetry Jam, Comic View. So we don't do that political stuff over here. Screw political correctness. What up, Meflon Doom? But yeah, man, I had to come up. I had so many ideas going through my head while I was at work, but I went ahead and go with the one that I'm glad I picked, the late great Heavy D. Cause I was on Instagram because you know I'm a hip hop head, so I follow most of that hip hop stuff. I don't do that gender war stuff. I said, man, I think we celebrating the anniversary of the passing on the Heavy D. So I said, I'm gonna go ahead and do this one, and the other ones I'm gonna come up with tomorrow and the day after. But yeah, man, Heavy D is so much benefit for the culture, man. People don't realize he really was behind the Living Color music, you know, like the late great Coolio did for Keenan and Kel, TLC, rest in peace to the late great Left Eye did for all that. You know, they sung like legendary, as they would say, iconic intro songs for them. Heck yeah, bro. Trying to think of who. Yeah, I done named everyone, so yeah, who did that? But man, yeah, Heavy D is one of the best. And he's one. I didn't know he was Jamaican until like I think 2000 probably somewhere. Cause no back then I didn't know what Jamaican was. Cause I, in my mind you expect the Jamaican be like Shaggy or Sean Paul or Elephant Man had the accent, but he don't got it. But yeah, Heavy D he was like fun because he showed you didn't have to be no gangster or none of that crap. None against gangsters, but I'm just saying he showed that there's more variety of being a rapper, being a black man, Jamaican, or whatever your race is. He showed you don't have to fall into that kind of garbage. Yeah, shout out to the 80s babies too. Matter of fact, shout out to all generations. You know, but I will say this: no, being a '90s baby, I do respect Big Daddy Kane, Rakim, Dana Dane, Slick Rick, because the fact that I remember like the OGs watching them on TV, they described the '80s rappers to us, '90s babies. So that's why we respect them. Well, ones like me, I can't speak for every '90s baby. I don't speak for ones like me, but also our cousins and family members. So I feel like black people got to bring that back. Dropping knowledge on the next generation so they can really know. That's why I went in hard yesterday on what I said, so they can really know and respect the OGs. And shout out to the man from Tales from the Hood. I think his name Charles Son the third. It's Charles something the third. I mean the second. He said, "Man, reason why people don't respect Pop like that, these younger people, because like how some of these people portrayed him." And I seen a lot of this. Even I got this for showing love to Pop, but no, that's another subject. I'm gonna stick on the subject of Heavy D. But yeah, man, Heavy D he showed you can have fun. You ain't have to be out that gangster stuff. It's like Heavy D, the likes of Kid and Play, the likes of Dana Dane, Slick Rick, Big Daddy Kane, my boy Rakim, my boy Karis One. They show you don't have to be out that gangster stuff. You can just be a rapper and just rap out, have cool lyrics and be conscious. He showed black people are more than just gangsters. That gangster stuff is just a one-sided story of us as black folks. You know, oh yeah, Slick Rick. No, Dougie Fresh. Can't forget him. The Fat Boys. But yeah, Heavy D he straight up showed you can have fun. And that brother can dance. To be a man this size before he lost that weight, he can move. He danced about better than half the skinny people. But yeah, man, Heavy D just one of the, I don't know, he just one of the people that just had the aura about him that was always fun and cool. And today I didn't know he found out. I just not found out today he discovered Soul for Real and the other lady I mentioned. I know he was on the remix for Candy Rain, but I ain't think nothing of it as a kid. I didn't know he actually found him. What up, Malik Dome? Yahweh, what up, cool gamer? But yeah, man, I ain't ashamed, man. Every day is one of my influences. Now that we had love, that really revived it in the early 2000s when they played it on the movie Hitch. I remember that. At the end, they played that song. Man, his acting was good too. It wasn't bad. I remember having that scene in Life. That was cool. Boston Public. I remember bits and pieces of that show. I never really watched it like that, but I do remember that. I remember the Tracy Morgan show. That show was funny. That's one of them shows that probably wouldn't make it now because everyone's so sensitive. No, I'll take the back. Tracy Morgan show wasn't that bad. Well, it wasn't bad, period. But yeah, man. Every he was just like cool, man. He had his own style, his look, and his brain, as it would say now. No, yeah, all that was cool, man. All them shows was cool. All that. Salute your shorts. Doggone the old school Nickelodeon. The new school is alright, but the old school is more better. I'm gonna have to bring you back on the show. We're gonna talk about 90s and 80s shows. I'm gonna have that in the near future. Cause I like to see for you another guest on the bike. Of course, you Melakadon. And it's a third Princess Bronze. You know, when I can get them together. Now we're in different timelines, so I gotta see how. Cause no, she from Chicago and of course you Makai in California, but we'll come up with something to make that work. I want to bring back the coolness of black entertainment, not this watered down gender war crap they throw it out there. But shout out to Malachi with some cool questions he asked on his channel. I like, yes, finally a black content creator with questions I can relate to. But yeah, man. There's another show that came out. It wasn't platinum. That came out in 2000. But it was a show back in the day in the 90s that was dope. It had Uncle Phil and all them. Miguel Nunez. Sparkle, I think. Or Sparks. But yeah, man. I miss them days in the 90s. These new shows, they alright. But it's just not the same compared to it was the 90s. Because I feel like all that political correct stuff just sucks. Ken Whitley was on there. Chicken Baby Boy. Oh yeah, and the dude from The Fly appeared on there. Dang, I'm looking right now. You learn something new every day. So Kodak Black did. Even he appeared on Nickelodeon back audition for Nickelodeon. But yeah, man, I miss them days like that. Hold up. Nah, man, ain't the Heavy D I thought it was. I about to say Heavy D did appear on Sparks, but he didn't. That's a different Heavy D. But yeah, that bro, Heavy D can dance his tail off to be a guy that big, man. He the first big guy I can know that can move like that rapping wise. Nothing But Love was good. Is it good to you? Oh yeah, Black Coffee was dope. You know, he had that female empowerment. Girls That Love Me. Yeah. Oh yeah. Thank you, man. I forgot about that. So Are You Afraid of the Dark? That was dope. Oh yeah, like I might have to invite you on one time. I don't know when it's gonna be, but we're gonna have to talk about the throwback 80s and 90s. And I can get Lassie for you and them there. That's gonna be dope. I'll let you know when I can do that. But yeah, Are You Afraid of the Dark was, man, that was the beast. Goosebumps was good too. All right. All right, here we go. But yeah, man, there was some shows back then. I miss the originality, man. I feel like nothing against these modern shows, but it's either they quote unquote so called woke That bull crap, or either they too much copycatish. In '90s, you rarely had a show. Well, no, Eflon Doom can vouch for me on this. Cause I know from the '90s, even the music they went in on you if you was like copycatting. Nowadays they kind of let you slide with the copycat stuff. But I remember being a '90s kid and the '80s kids. You asked them from their point of view, they didn't play that copycat stuff. When you copycat someone, no, I don't care if it was musically. Oh yeah, that was good too. I don't care if it's musically or show. They got on to you about that. I think we need to bring that back. Not really being aggressive, but just I remember, they called you out if you was copycat. Cause it was a rarity any show or musicals alike. Do the Right Thing was dope. Rock was a good show. I remember Heavy D appearing on there. He helped make that show and elevate it. Now I remember in Boston Public, it's coming to me now. I forgot this show existed until I read this. Until I just now read the Wikipedia. Mhm. I remember being on Living Single, like that was dope. Back then before you know, they had that so-called ideal look. I ain't gonna say it wasn't issues in the '90s, but you can be a heavy set dude, short guy, and all that. It wasn't no stereotypical look for it. I mean, it was there in the '90s, but not as bad as it is now. Now, Living Large, I like that album. Now, I do remember that one. Nothing But Love, I do remember that album. '94, that one I do remember. See, Vibes 2008, that sound familiar. I think I heard that before. Just don't remember like that. Love Opus, the last album he did before he died, that sound familiar. The Heavy, I don't really, I want to say it sound familiar, but I don't think I know that album like that. So I'm going to take that one out later on. Now I remember him appearing in Who's the Man. That movie was funny. To y'all that's younger than me, there was two Dr. Dre's. Of course, Dr. Dre the rapper and Dr. Dre the DJ. Dr. Dre the DJ was with Ed Lover. So New Jersey Drive, I don't remember that. Now I remember seeing them in Babs. I remember that. I remember seeing them in Life. Of course, I said that. The Cider House Rules, that sound familiar. I might have seen it. Step Up, that sound familiar. I might have seen them. That Tower Heights, I remember that. Seeing them in there. H4, that movie ain't really familiar. And I think I remember when he appeared on Different World. I remember him appearing on First Prince. I remember that one. I ain't know he appeared on Tales from the Crypt. Now I remember him appearing on Rock, Living Singles. I forgot about it. He did the voice in Wayne Head, like for Bosky. Himself. So he did the voice of himself. Now Happy Ever After, that kind of sound familiar. The Golden Goose, that do sound familiar. In case you didn't know, Happy Ever After was a show on HBO. When they had like the little kid section, because now HBO is for adults, but they did have Happy Ever After franchise. I remember the Whoopi Goldberg did a voice on that before. Barry White did a voice for one of the characters. I think the Giant. And of course, I remember like Heavy D doing the voice of Drexel. Remember that? The Golden Goose, one of my favorite episodes. Now I want to say John Leguizamo did a voice there. Martial Law, I think that's that show with Chow Yun Fat. Let me go check it out right quick. Yeah, it is someone with Chow Yun Fat. No, his name's Samuel Hung. I meant to say Chow Yun Fat, the slimmer guy. Samuel Hung was in Martial Law. No, Senior Hall was on there as a sidekick. Basically, kind of like if Rush Hour was a show. Oh yeah, Moesha was cool. Speaking of Moesha, boy, I remember my boy Fredro Starr got real offensive at Charlamagne the God for asking what was going on in Moesha and stuff like that. I think it was Moesha, but yeah, Moesha was dope. Then the spinoff, The Parkers, was dope. That's before I even know what a spinoff was. There's another show that came out in the '90s that was really good. Of course, Martin. I'm the way I am today on these YouTube streets, causing Martin. And who else? All right, it was Martin, Fresh Prince of Bel Air, of course, Jamie Foxx show. The Wayans brothers was awesome. Half of them shows probably get canceled now because everyone got so sensitive. But I don't care. Them shows still OG shows. I'm trying to think who else held it down in the 90s. Shoot, everything that came out on the Def Comedy Jam was good because it gave all the mainstream comedians and underground comedians publicity. That's something I feel like they got to bring back that way. Shows like that without that don't got a biasness to it. Comic View came out. That was the bomb. Another show. People don't realize Kevin Hart was on there. Cat Williams was on there. Before they blew up, Ed Grant was on there. That white guy, whatever his name, I forgot his name right now. I know Deion Cole was on there. Bill Bellamy was on Def Comedy Jam, but he was never on Comic View. But yeah, so many people appeared on there. And like speaking of, and also what I love about the late great Heavy D, he had versatility in what he talked about. He never stuck with the same old stuff. He actually just changed it up with just different subjects. And yeah, see, like he showed you don't have to really cuss like that to be a good rapper. And nothing against rappers that cuss. I ain't gonna act like I'm holier than thou. But I do give credit for Heavy D. He one of the ones like Rakim. See who else? Biz Markie, Ghetto Boy, not Ghetto Boys. They could. Fat Boy. That shows like you could be a great lyricist without cuss. When doggone Heavy D did that, I think he really even cussed in general. But I like how he showed like he can be good without cuss. But yeah, man, Heavy D just had that funness, man. It was him, the Digital Underground, rest in peace to Humpty Hump, rest in peace Tupac. How they show you just get straight up, have fun. You don't gotta be gangster and thug and all that. You could just be black and be entertaining. And then, you know, and from what I can remember, he always been like a top-notch cool dude. I wish I could have met him. He had a unique clothing style too. Like, in the 90s, we had all them mixed match colors and all that. And yeah, he made like I forgot what they called them hats, but Cole is always wearing them. Martin. For y'all who grew up in the 90s or 80s, remember Cole had all them big, funny looking hats, look like doggone parachutes and stuff. But I know Heavy D made that cool. I don't know what they call them hats, but they be like the multiple green, red, yellow, and all that. And he had like a kind of like a crossover R&B kind of vibe too later on in his career, and that was very unique. I guess you call it parachute hats. I remember that like his last performance before he died, like that was yesterday when he was at the doggone BT Awards. He broke it down. He's like, and yeah, like I'm looking at some of his pictures. He had kind of like the square shaped like glasses / shades. So you had the high top back then with the boys. Some little picture of him, Michael Jackson, Not By Nature. I'm gonna do Not By Nature pretty soon. I don't think I did them yet. When they say Heavy D was one of the ones that could really lighten up a room, they wasn't lying because he just looked like he was one of them fun dudes that just made you laugh and just had that vibe aura about him. I feel like we need that more now in black entertainment. Oh yeah, I'm 32 years old. Let me put my age down. 32 years old. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie to you, I'm 32. You know, I ain't ashamed. No, I ain't ashamed to admit it. No, I don't think no one should be ashamed of that age. That's what God letting you live gracefully. And shout out to Ice Cube. He embraced being 53 years old. He don't even move or act like he still move like and look like in his 20s with a little bit of gray facial hair. And that really helped me embrace my age. I'm like, dang, if Ice Cube, Ice T, E40 embrace being in their 50s and stuff, I said I shouldn't be ashamed of being 32. And plus, that's like another blessing just to say you lived another year. But yeah, I am 32 years old. But I don't even I still feel like I'm physically 19. I guess I'm constantly moving and eating healthy. And I carry a positive spirit. Man, that really helps a lot too. Oh yeah, shout out to Mahogany Roots and MJ for giving me ideas for these thumbnails. And shout out to everyone that been dropping knowledge on this younger, well, I ain't gonna say younger, but younger, but not young in age, but younger is like, 36. You and Side the Rule about the same age. He might be 1 year older than you. No wonder why I can relate a lot to the same thing or similar stuff. Cause I think you, oh yeah, shout out to my brother Side the Ruler who he's pretty cool with Malik. And shout out to Young Doug. Cause really, outside of the other people I always mention, of course you, Mellock Dome, and Young Doug, we can relate to y'all a lot. We consider y'all like family. Cause Young Doug will be the youngest out of us. He's like 19, I think, or 17. We embrace him in this YouTube world. But I think like I'll speak for Side of Ruling myself, so we respect you a lot, Mellow Dome, and we respect Young Doug a lot too. Y'all ain't the only ones we respect, but I don't feel like naming them other YouTubers right now. I did that before my other episodes. I probably name them again later on other videos. But yeah, y'all really cool. Like the vibe is dope. But I see Young Doug, he's still learning a little bit more than us, because he's a little bit younger. But that don't matter. He's still cool. And I'm learning from Young Doug, and I'm assuming he's learning from me. Man, that KRS stuff, much love, much love. But yeah, like I realized, well, from my point of view, I can speak for myself. When I first connected with you, was like I think late last year. I was like, man, this dude vibe is dope. Then Side the Rule, I told him about you, and he think you cool because he always bragged on you. And I like seeing us as black men, like just talk about cool stuff like video games and stuff, and without it unnecessary YouTube beefing. Cause well, a little bit of my background, I grew up in that Tupac era, so I inherited some of his influences. And to an extent, I think like him, but I can never be on Pac's level. I think kind of like Nas, but personality-wise, I would say I'm more like Eazy-E when it comes down to the thing. Like, I can be that raw, rugged YouTuber, but I'm mainly nice. But make a long story short, like, I'm more in that, me and Sada Rule, we more in that era where black people got along more. I mean, you still had issues in the 90s and I'm assuming the 80s, but we like to bring our personalities from the real world to the entertainment to where we just cool with y'all. We ain't on this gender war, black male versus black woman, black man versus black male stuff. You know, it's just, as you see, causing our personalities, we don't even think like that. Because me and Sada Rule are goofballs, but, you know, so we bring that to YouTube where we just have fun, talk to people, and get along with all people and just have fun. None of that bull crap they do. That's why I think I probably never get mainstream YouTube publicity, which I don't care about getting it. I like the underground vibe anyway. But yeah, man, we just cool people, man. And like I'll say, like he one of my influences why I went to primarily talk about hip hop stuff because it come natural to me talking about hip hop. You know, that's one of the things I can just naturally talk about, and it just roll off the tongue. But yeah, man, I ain't gonna lie, this YouTube stuff fun when you got a positive vibe behind it. But when you on that internet beefing, I can't do what they do because you gotta keep that stuff going. I was like the cool, laid back, chill vibe and just being goofy, serious or whatever. But yeah, my personality is a little tad bit of Tupac, but mainly I'm more like easy, more laid back with it. I say like if I was like a Bone Thugs and Harmony member, I would be more like Crazy Bone, the more quiet natured one. You know, the one that's kind of chill. I can get feisty now. Don't let the hype fool you. But yeah, I like this vibe of like who I connect with because I keep my YouTube circle small until I see how cool the YouTube is. I don't even know how I found out about you, Mo Dome. I guess it was just destiny. I think I was just going through YouTube. I said Mellow Dome. I think the lion avatar or something you had. I think you still had the lion one back then too. You know, I like lions and wild animals. I said, let me see who this guy is. Now I like what you had to say. I like, man. Oh yeah, I remember. I remember definitely. It was that Junior Gun Molly and that Nas one. Cause I was listening to that album. I said, man, you roll with them too. You know, I roll with Nas and all the Marley kids and people like that. So I was like, shoot, let me check this guy out. And plus, I always liked the daughter from Good Times, Thelma. And yeah, man, just the rest is like history, man. And the video, I think, and also the video from Cyril's point of view, it's like the video games stuff that was cool. And and we used to that, you know, me and Side Rules, so we can connect with anyone. We don't care if from the West Coast, East Coast, Midwest, or 30 South. Yes, he is. We just me and Side Ruler just naturally connect with people. We don't see an East Coast, West Coast with people we cool with. It's this a rule I play by. If I'm cool with you, I'm cool with you. I don't care if you're black, white, East Coast, West Coast, Midwest. If we cool, we cool. I mean, we gonna recognize you from the Midwest and stuff because accent's gonna be different, but we don't care about that. We just get along with people. I just like to bring out the fun in some black people, especially in the internet world. And all that drama and beef and stuff, I don't care for that. It might make good for entertainment every blue moon, but not all the time. Yeah, man. I wish Heavy D was around so his younger generation could experience what he was like. But thank God for YouTube. But just anyone in the younger generation, just check out Heavy D and I think check out Black Coffee No Sugar No Cream first and check out his songs. You realize he's a cool dude. Heavy D was just I think like if Heavy D was alive now, he'd be one of the ones that would break that bridge between the younger artists and the old school artists because he was like that. Because Chaos One already doing it, Nas is already doing that, but Heavy D would be one of the ones I know would do that. Oh, LL Cool J too, can't forget him. But he just Heavy D was just peaceful like that. That he was just that cool dude. I think Heavy D was the only one out of the boys that had a solo career. Let me see. I'm just looking at this stuff on YouTube while I'm talking to y'all. But I think I might have to do MCA and Spice One in the near future too. I don't know how they go how they Wikipedia's gonna be, but we're gonna make it work. I've been sleeping on Spice One. I've been checking out his music lately. I like that Smooth Criminal Part One and Part Two, where he did a gangster version of Michael Jackson's Smooth Criminal. No, it's called Street General One and Two. I've been checking out that Street General One and Two. I meant, but basically, it's a hip hop thug version, thug hip hop thug gangster version of the Michael Jackson Smooth Criminal. It's pretty dope. Dope. I've been checking out MC8's music, and I've been watching MC8's podcast. Man, that one with Lazy Bone is deep, man. Cause Lazy Bone break down how he had depression after his mama died, earlier this year. And he broke down the formula of Bone Thugs and things like that, and each member personality. I've been I've been a student of the game since doggone 3 weeks now, watching that MC8, and I don't know the other guy's name who be with him podcast, man. But I'm learning from that because I ain't saying I ain't too young to learn or too old to learn from any OG. And I see and Dub C and C and oh yeah, that CJ Mack and Dub C podcast is good too. And what I learned from both of them just like how they just simple black people. They ain't doing that whole trying to sound proper or educated or trying to sound thug. Like they just simply talk and have good conversation. And they letting the world see it on YouTube. So I'm learning from that. No, I just tell people I don't care what generation you are, you can learn from anyone. I think it's cool. I don't care about popularity. I know it might not seem cool, black people bragging on each other. I guess that's kind of taboo now in this internet world, but I don't care about taboo. I grew up off the D Generation X. We do what we want. But yeah, man, them shows are good, man. I like how they tell stuff from a hood perspective. And it's very like original. Everything is their own opinion. You can tell they ain't controlled by no one's opinion. That was a big plus for me for any YouTube show. Green Room TV is another good show. Choreography 5150 is another good show. I like that. Charleston White show's good. My man, Kwame Brown show's good. Man, there's so many lucrative information from the shows. And when Daz Jones' podcast pop off, I'm gonna definitely watch that. Yeah, but man, I would say Heavy D could have been around. 'Cause I know his podcast would have been banging if he had one. Cause he all got all that positive energy. So he just like laid back, chilling, just a cool, dope brother, man. Man, you younger people don't know what y'all was missing. Man, we see it pass on back in 2011. But Heavy D's just he was that guy. He's really, I would say, one of them go-to guys that you can't help but to like him. If you didn't like Heavy D, something was wrong with you because he never had a negative spirit about him. He always had that peaceful coolness, dope, chill, relaxed, awesome, all that wrapped in one. He was just the man. Either brother had swag before swag was even a word. And also, like, Heavy D ain't never come with no lame songs. I might not be an Heavy D expert, but I know every song I heard never been lame. And like, he just got one that vibe. You know, you just vibe with Heavy D, man. I'm telling you, old school, dude, new school, young, old, whatever. He just got that music that you just vibe to him. And he don't have to force it. And that's another thing I like about Heavy D. He just naturally got that it factor, you know, when he was here with us. He just naturally had it. He didn't have to do this. He didn't need no antics or nothing. He was just a big dude that can dance and rap, and it can move like a doggone. He moved like a doggone featherweight. All his beats are underrated too. I think I would put like Heavy D more like the party rap category. Kind of, like I put him up there with Kid and Play. Let me see. Yeah. And also, I'm gonna add on his adaptability, like coming from the '80s, coming from his '80s style to adapt to the '90s. I put him up there with. I give him like a perfect 10 because he adapted well. You know, I don't know him. I wasn't born in the '80s, but from listening to the Heavy D and the Boys, the songs I did listen to, I like how he adapted his style to fit the '90s very well. I put him up there with Big Daddy Kane, Careless One, Rakim did that. Oh yeah, MC Light. Can't forget the beautiful MC Light. She also adapted very well, coming from the '80s to the '90s. But Big Daddy Heavy D is another one I put up there. He did well because can't everyone like do that, like adapt to the new generation in the way they did. And I believe if he was alive a lot longer, he would adapt it well to now without like selling out. So I give him like adaptability. I give him perfect A for that. I think he was no. Let me phrase. I think he also was labeled New Jack Swing. If I ain't mistaken, I think that's what he was considered. Like in a, I thought I said I didn't know what he was labeled, but I think he was labeled New Jack Swing along with Teddy Riley and people like that. So he's more like a New Jack Swing kind of rapper. I had to remember that one. We did it. Our show. Shout out to Inflon Dome, a Melodome. And shout out to Cool Gamer for helping me keep the momentum going in this show. Shout out to my brother and shout out to my brother Reasonable Mention. Shout out to my brother Silent Ruler and Young Doug too. We out. Peace. Like, share, subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you know it. I'm about to hit you with this funky fresh outro. Oh yeah, for you younger people, go check out Heavy D, man. You will not regret his music. Check out Heavy D and the Boys content and check out his solo content, man. Everything is good. And you'll learn a lot from this stuff. And look at his interviews too, they are awesome. And look at all the shows, Living Singles, Doggone, Mad TV, Living Color, Rock, Boston Public, Life. Watch the movie and shows, you'll enjoy it. I'm out. Peace, love, and God bless.